Hey, I'm Al McGee here with YETicket.com, but I'm here with my buddy Steven Leibowitz with MovieNight.net. Hey, we're going to discuss this new film starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in The Smashing Machine, where he plays a wrestler, a wrestler named Mark Kerr. And this is about this guy during the 1990s, how, well, he helped build wrestling, well, UFC basically, mixed martial arts, things like that. Hey Steve, how you doing today?
I'm good, Al. Good to be back.
Well, what do you think of this film?
Well, this is a much different movie than Dwayne Johnson's ever done his entire career. I mean, this is a dramatic biofilm, and I would say Dwayne Johnson gives the performance of his life here. I mean, usually you think he does something like funny and silly, like Jumanji, or maybe an action film, maybe like the Fast and Furious movies. This is a real serious drama, and he works with Emily Blunt, and they work together, of course, on Jungle Cruise. But this is, both give. I mean, she's always been a great actress, but this is a performance like of his life. I mean, he did. I don't know if he'll get award consideration, but he certainly could. So I think acting wise, it was great. Movie wise, Al, it never really gelled for me in many respects. I mean, first of all, the director, Benny Safdie, I've been a fan of his work, like Uncut Gems, which he's done with his brother. He did his solo. I mean, I thought it was like, he did a lot of handheld camera work, which I thought was unnecessary. The musical score is mostly jazz. Now, I know there's a problem with jazz, but when you have like a fight scene or a training montage, jazz music doesn't fit. I mean, I don't know if you stayed through the end credits. During the end credits, there's a solo with a harp. So the music never fit the movie. I kind of kept asking myself, what's the point of this? And really, is basically, it's if you're a fan of the UFC, mixed martial arts, you might have an interest in it because basically it's how it really got going. I mean, Mark Kerr is certainly a pioneer of the sport, but unless you're a fan, I don't think I didn't really feel this was a great movie. Outside of it's really for UFC fans that want to know the history of it. Regular moviegoers, I don't really think you're going to get into it.
Well, I enjoyed the music. I really like the music in this film because it's different and they did use some jazz, and I felt that the person who were behind the movie that he did, she did, it was a she did a great job. And I just feel that it really pertains to this film. And not only that, I feel that moviegoers will enjoy this film because it shows how this guy, Mark Kerr, lived his life trying to be this wrestler. And remember, at this time, wrestling was really huge in Japan. And that's where he fought many of his matches in Japan. And
Yes.
a lot of American audiences did not get a chance to see him at that time. And I felt that what he did, the director Vinny, what he did with this, not only did he, well, he did focus on the matches, but he focused on Mark, how uh, he was agonized emotionally by what was going on with his life and how to make money. How, and he also described, Mark Kerr described being in the ring, how he felt. He said it was the greatest feeling of all, even though he was a drug addict and things like that. But being in the ring was the greatest feeling of all. But it was much more than sex. But his girlfriend, Dawn Staples, played by Emily Blunt, I think she got very jealous of that. And I really liked their relationship because it showed how, man, they shouldn't have been together. But I'm not going to
Yeah.
give too much about that relationship. But you know what they say about crazy women. But anyway,
And she look besides that, and she looks great in the movie too. But everybody
oh
else
my gosh.
almost always
Oh
looks great.
man.
So
Oh man. Was any prosthetics used on her body to look that great? I don't think so. Boy,
no,
did she look gorgeous in this film. But anyway, I really enjoyed this. Not only that, Mark's best friend, Mark Coleman, which is played by boxer Bash Rutten, man, I thought this guy was a very good actor in this movie.
that was his first film. Yeah, he did great work. Acting wise, it's great. I don't. I would not. I can't find a flaw in any of the performances. I said, but I do. Like I said, I mean, oh yes, it's like a story about a pro athlete abusing drugs. That's a groundbreaking breaking concept. I haven't seen that before, but I've seen that before too, and so I was like I said, what so the movie doesn't break any new ground. Like I said, it's really for like I said, the UFC had to go to Japan to sort of help build its popularity out before it really moved to the states. Because now it really does have like a post-credit scene about talking about how this is the early days and how today these UFC fighters are make vast millions and it's like a great popular sport. I mean, this guy gave his body to help build a sport that's we all take for granted today. So that part is, and actually this I found out this was a documentary series about this guy, and
Yeah, 2001,
yeah,
HBO.
yeah, HBO. So basically, they just took that true story and made it into a whole film. And I I haven't seen it, but I'm willing to bet I would like the documentary more because like I said I thought this film.
Probably.
I said hey, well, there's some great acting here, and Dwayne Johnson just goes to a whole new level, and good for him. I said it never gelled for me. It never worked for me. I was bored a lot of the times. I've seen some, the critic screening I went to. I know some other people were bored by it. Um,
Well,
and I
I
said,
wasn't bored by this film. I was not. Groundbreaking? No. Storytelling? I really enjoyed the storytelling. I really enjoyed the character. And also, again, I enjoyed the acting. I enjoyed Dwayne Johnson, Emily Blunt, and many of the other actors in this film. So I'm going to rate this film, though. I'm going to rate it 3 palm trees out of 4
all right.
because of that. So, and it gives you a reason to go and watch this film because you got the great Dwayne Johnson in this. Also, you got a very good director in this. I liked a couple of things that he did, but he did it with his brother. He right now he's doing this alone, and I really like that. So I'm going to rate this 3 palm trees out of 4.
Well, a lot of the reviews we've done lately, Al, we've been close together on our ratings. Off by maybe a half a palm tree or so in my case. But this time we're way off. I'm cutting yours in half. I'm only at 1.5 swords for the smash hit.
Whoa! Wow!
And there's some
Wow!
great acting here. And if it wasn't for the great acting, I mean, it could have been really even worse. But so I'm going with great acting. Makeup's really great. I definitely anticipate this getting nominated for best makeup for an Oscar time. I mean, I would, and if Dwayne Johnson got nominated for best actor, I would be okay with that. It would be an amazing feat. Some people might have just a prejudice against him in that way because of coming from his wrestling background. They think, oh, he's a former wrestler. No matter what he does, I'm not going to nominate him for for actor. But if he did get that, I would love to see that. But otherwise, but the movie itself, it just didn't work for me.
Well, and I can understand that. Really, I really can understand that because there were moments for me too. That's why I gave it only 3. But overall, it's good entertainment. I was entertained.
Okay, and I was not. So
All right.
that's what's fun about these things we do sometimes, Al. When we don't agree, they can be interesting just as much as when we agree.
I know. Well, I want to thank you, Stephen Leibowitz, the movienight.net, and that's where you can get his reviews. I want to thank you for coming on and help to review The Smashing Machine. Thank you.
This is your entertainment ticket. Latest and greatest.